Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. And how do you do? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. And God loves you. Ooh, ooh. Good morning, y'all. Yes, this is Edwina B. Cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. But guess what? God woke me up this morning, and I'm so glad He did. He accepts me just the way I am, with my mother's hat on, my dentures not in yet, my glasses crooked. He don't care as long as I give Him the honor, the praise, and the glory for choosing me to rise this morning. I will give Him glory. All right, so this time before I do the Alcoholics Anonymous spiritual meeting, I always share with you my testimonial song for today. As a result of being a part of a 12-step spiritual program for nearly 32 years, God gave me the religion of my choice, right? And it's called King Jesus. So here's my testimonial song, not trying to mix spirituality with religion, because religion is man-made. But listen to my song, King Jesus by Vicky Weiner, while I continue to get myself together right in front of you. I believe in transparency. All right, here we go. Woo, Lord, I love you. I tell you. We're going to be back at 6:45 to give you the AA reflection for the day. But right now, we want to have it going on. All right, so here we go. All right.
I want you to know, long as I got King Jesus, I don't need nobody else.
This is dedicated to my niece, Helen Hall, Sabrina Hall in Augusta, Georgia. This is one of her favorite songs.
I feel like having a little church this evening. Oh, She talked about mistreated, I've been beat, scorned, talked about showing up, down, almost to the ground. Long as I got King Jesus,
come on, Mama.
Long as I got King Jesus, long as I got him, don't need nobody else. I've been lied on, she talked about mistreated, I've been beat, scorned, talked about showing up. I've been up, down, almost to the ground. Long as I got King Jesus, long as I got King Jesus, long as I got him, don't need nobody. I don't need nobody else. I don't need nobody else. Brother, father, sister, brother, doctor, lawyer, preacher, teacher. Long as I got King Jesus, long as I got King Jesus, long as I got him, don't need nobody. I don't need nobody else. Don't need nobody else. Mother, sister, brother, no doctor, no lawyer, no preacher, no teacher. Long as I got King Jesus, long as I got King Jesus, long as I got don't need nobody. I've been lied on, lied on, lied on, lied on. Have you ever been lied on? Have you ever been lied on? You know what I mean? Lied on. She talked about mistreated and abused. Talked about showing wrong, and I'm down, no more to the ground. Long as I got King Jesus, long as I got King Jesus, I know He's a burden bearer. I know He's a heavy load share. I know bridge over water. I know a doctor and a lawyer. Good God, friend when you're friendless. Oh Lord, mother when you're motherless. He'll be bread when you're hungry. He'll be a comfort when you're lonely. Long as I got got King Jesus, long as I got King Jesus. Wait a minute, hey. See, Jesus, he's a lily of the valley, he's a bright morning star, he's a rose of Sharon, he's a great I am, he walks in and he talks to me, he's Jehovah, Jehovah, Shammah, he's a
Woo! Woo! I hope y'all praise your God as you understand him. I hope he makes you jump for joy. I'm giving him the glory, whoever you say your higher power is. But through the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous spiritual program, I was able to identify my higher power, who I call King Jesus. Yes, to God be all the glory. So, welcome to February the 15th, Alcoholics Anonymous Daily Reflection Reading for today. It's called Taking Action, and it's from Edwina B's perspective. So, the Alcoholics Anonymous spiritual program, spiritual steps, spiritual traditions, spiritual concepts, spiritual fellowship has been in existence for nearly 90 years. But by the grace of God, from underneath a parked car 32 years ago, he met me underneath the parked car. He delivered me from underneath the parked car. He prepared me from underneath the parked car and put me on a pathway to recovery. And I haven't looked back since. I only look back to reflect as a reference and to get my fellow human being. Other than that, I won't go back to drinking, drugging, prostitution, all that nonsense, because I found the spiritual connection that I've been searching for all my life. So, you know that with the daily reflections, it helps us to focus and hone in on today. He says, give us this day our daily bread. This day, this moment, this second, this hour that we are breathing. We were chosen to wake up this morning. Because you know there are some who won't wake up this morning, and that's all in God's power. But because he woke me up this morning, woke you up this morning, I want to share my experience, my strength, and my hope of the daily reflections reading for today. Taking action. We present to you a quote from our literature. We give you the perspective of another recovering alcoholic, and then I give you my perspective, and then I want you to develop your own perspective. Okay? So you know what I'm asking you to do, right? Take a sip of your coffee, drink soda, beer, I don't know. As long as you're watching me, there's a chance, okay? I'm drinking coffee. Now, I want you to put on your ears so that you can hear, but I want you to listen with your spirit. Huh? And I want you to close your eyes. This thing hurts a little bit. I want you to close your eyes, because when you close your eyes and listen, it's a form of meditation. And so when I finish reading it to you, we're going to read it together, because there's a different perspective when you read aloud compared to listening. All right? So please close your eyes and listen to what the reading is for February the 15th daily reflection, Taking Action. And it reads, okay. All right. Here we go. Let me take this off. It says, February the 15th, AA Daily Reflections, Taking Action. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them. AA page 84. And the writer states, one of the most important things AA has given me, in addition to freedom from booze, is the ability to take right action. It says the promises will always materialize if I work for them. Fantasizing about them, debating them, preaching about them, and faking them just won't work. I'll remain a miserable, rationalizing, dry drunk. By taking action and working the 12 steps in all my affairs, I will have a life beyond my wildest dreams. All right, open your eyes, huh? Did you hear that with your ears? Did you listen with your spirit? And so let's read it aloud together, okay? I don't want you to miss near word, because you know I dissect each and every word and its meaning as the author intended it to be conveyed. Okay, so let's read it together out loud. All right. February the 15th, AA Daily Reflections, taking action. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will materialize if we work for them. AA page 84. One of the most important things AA has given me, in addition to freedom from booze, is the ability to take right action. It says the promises will always materialize if I work for them. Fantasizing about them, debating them, preaching about them, and faking them just won't work. I will remain a miserable, rationalizing, dry drunk. By taking action and working the 12 steps in all my affairs, I will have a life beyond my wildest dreams. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Beyond our wildest dreams. So let's take word for word, right? And let's dissect it, evaluate it, analyze it, right? Mix it up, juggle it around so that we can get the full implication of that word and the meaning that the author intended for us to receive. So y'all know I don't assume nothing. I got my dictionary. I got what's her name? Siri. I got Alexis, whatever you want to call it, right? So I don't assume nothing, because I want to get the author's perspective, because we can see the same thing and have different perspectives, right? And so that's why I have to assist you while assisting me in understanding what the author is trying to convey. All right, so let's go. You know me, right? I decipher the words. It says here, taking action. Taking a form of a behavior that, you know, extends the arm, right? That you're taking information in, you're taking in order to receive, you're getting something to possess, you're taking, So when you hear the word taking, what can you relate that to in your past and your present lives? Taking. Are you taking for granted that you woke up this morning? Are you taking for granted that you won't get COVID-19? Are you taking for granted that you can breathe? Taking, possessing, right? Ownership. Okay? You got it? All right. So taking what? Taking action. I ain't talking about the movie, but you can relate to it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action. And many of you know I have a TV talk show going on 29 years, right? But listen, taking what? Action. Doing something. moving, action, action, action. The fact that I am talking with you, I'm taking action to convey. You are taking action to listen. You are taking action to put on your glasses so you can see. Don't look at the messenger. Listen to the message. Take action. So you know what I mean? Taking action. Because if you lay dormant, if you sit still, if you just want a couch potato, guess what? That's an action. The action not to do nothing. How about that? Okay. So let's go to the reading and let's dissect it. All right. It says, are these extravagant promises? Now, what promises are they talking about? Well, in Alcoholics Anonymous, right? After spiritual principle step number 9, once we have, and let me go through it. Step 1 says, right? We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable, right? The second step, which we're in the month of February, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. That only means soundness of mind, right? Step 3 says, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him, right? Step 4 says, made a searching and fearless more inventory of ourselves. Step 5 says, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Step 6 says, we're entirely ready to have God remove all of these defects of character. 7, humbly ask him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. And step 9, where the promises will manifest, made direct amends where possible, except when to do so would injure them or others, even you. So the promises of the freedom from recovery emerge empowered. Freedom from fear, face everything and recover. The promises that I will do whatever I need to do to embrace these promises. I will expect them as long as I do the work. Yeah, freedom from insecurity, freedom from fear, right? Freedom from my past, not wishing to shut the door on it, right? I'll get a list of the promises to you, but guess what? It says, are these promises extravagant? No, not at all. Not at all. They're not extravagant, but they contribute to the spiritual experience that we have walking this earthly journey. And we tell you, like the scripture says, every knee shall bow. Every knee shall bow. If yours haven't bowed yet, guess what? Keep living. Every knee shall bow and every mouth and tongue will confess that he is. And so when we get to review our journey, when we get to review the first half of our book, right? When we get to go back in our history to find out where those attitudes, ideas, behaviors, actions, right, were first formulated, we will see how our perspective, is a lot different now than it was then. Why? Because we asked for help. And it says in our literature, no human power could have relieved our alcoholism that God could and would if he was sought. And so the promises that we had in the past, I promise to do this, I promise to buy this, I promise to take you this. No, we are talking about spiritual promises that will uplift the spirit, that will create that spiritual experience, create that spiritual awakening, right? Have that spiritual transformation for the psychic change. We put down the drink, yes. That's only the beginning. Now we have to change our thinking. And what does that is the 12 spiritual principles, the 12 spiritual steps, traditions, concepts, and the 12 spiritual fellowship. And so once we embrace, right, the spiritual aspect of this program, right, of these spiritual principles, it's just like Donald Lawrence says, we are not a natural being having a spiritual experience. No, we are a spiritual being living and walking this natural journey called life here on earth. So don't tell me that you won't get a different perspective. You will. And the promises that the program offers, they will materialize. Guess what? If we work for them. I tell you, boy. Listen, Lord, thank you, Holy Spirit. All right, so let's go down what he says. So we think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them. Okay, so let me break that down, right? So people like myself, we don't think, we found out that they are not extravagant promises, right? Because it's all about the spiritual transformation that comes about as a result of working, then practicing, then living these 12 spiritual principles, right? And so you have some people who, want to take their time. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly and sometimes slowly. And so this was my attitude. Listen, I told you I'm transparent. When I came into Alcoholics Anonymous, not knowing anything about it, right? Not even knowing what alcoholics were. They were drunks when I was coming up, And so when the God that I did not know, did not take me out as I hollered from underneath that parked car 32 years ago to take me out or show me a better way, that he was going to put me on a pathway of recovery and no turning back, right? And so for me, where I was spiritually bankrupt, now because of his, and I didn't even know him. I heard about him. I thought he was a punishing God. But because he did not take me out, I had an opportunity to learn about this force, this creator, this God that I had no understanding of because I didn't know him for myself. And so with me, the fact that he saved me, I did not have no time to waste. No, I didn't wait for the drug dealer. I didn't wait for the bartender. I didn't wait for the liquor store to open, right? So why should I wait for my recovery? So I am one who wanted this thing like nothing else. Do you hear the word that I said? Wanted. I wanted it. We who are drug addicts and alcoholics, we know we need it, but it's for those who want it. And I wanted to be relieved from the pain, the suicide attempts, the rapes, the beat-ups, beating people up, abusing my children, neglecting my children. I wanted relief. I wanted the pain to stop. So I didn't have time to waste. I came into recovery this time and the final time with my hands up. Whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do. Wherever you tell me to go, I'm going to go. No matter how long it takes, that's how long it takes. I want this. And so that's what they mean with some people, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, but they will always materialize if we work for them, okay? All right, so then it says, the alcoholic in recovery, he says, one of the most important things AA has given me, in addition to freedom from booze, is the ability to take right action. Did you hear that? Not only does Alcoholics Anonymous relieve us one day at a time from the devastating effect of our disease of alcoholism, which is fatal. Once we put down the drink, as I said, now it's about our thinking. And so we have to take right action, okay? So let me break that down a little bit, because let me tell you, the enemy did not want to release to release me. No, it did not. It was using me because he knows I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. He know I'm daring. He know I'm spontaneous. He knows that I'm just what? What dare me? Yes, yes, yes. So he had a soldier with him. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. Yes, right? But when I found out that, listen, the attitude was great. The energy was magnificent, but it was directed towards the wrong thing. I took action towards the wrong thing. You hear me? And so once I put down the drink and started this recovery process, I became a student who wanted to learn how to take the right action and addressing my thinking that will affect my decision making, that will determine what behavior. I want to take the right action. And I'm telling you, within 90 days of my recovery, I could have very well took the wrong action. The enemy said, okay, I got something for you. What about your husband that's dying of cancer? You gonna leave him like that? What about you, contracting cervical cancer from having STDs? Yes. What about your brother who you turned on to crack, trying to commit suicide? What about the girl that sucker punched you not once but twice in the recovery house for women over a space with curlers? The enemy was trying to draw me back. But when I hollered out to God to take me out this life now or show me a better way, and I said, whoever they say you are. I didn't say God, I said, whoever they say you are, take me out this life or show me a better way. So yes, I was that student. And so when I began to express what I was going through, they would say, Edwina, every time you talk to your husband, you ready to go home. You ready to pack up and go home. Can we make a suggestion and taking a different action? I said, what? She said, stay off the phone. Edwina, stay off the phone. That's the next right action to take. Stay off the phone. Okay? Then when I was diagnosed with cervical cancer as a result of STDs that I caught as a prostitute, right? The enemy was trying to tell me, oh, you might as well go get your funeral. You might as well do this. You might as well do that because you're going to die right along with your husband, right? And again, I said, wow, when I talked to the ladies about my husband, they gave me a suggestion, a different action to take, and I took it. And they also said to pray about it, write about it, go to a meeting, you know what I mean, help somebody else. So I said, wow, with this cancer thing, woo. All right, they told me to talk about it, pray about it, write about it. That's why I have my journal, right? And as a result of taking the right action, what I was in my head for 2 weeks about this, and that, my white girlfriend, Thea, right, went to the hospital with me to get the procedure done, and it only took 15 minutes to correct. And I've been cured ever since, taking the right action, taking action, the right action. All right. So when I got the call that my brother, who I turned on the crack, right, tried to run his motorcycle on East River Drive, right, in Philly, lined up in the hospital with it as a John Doe, right? And all of me wanted to go there and help him and and I shared about it, wrote about it, prayed about it, talked about it, and the suggestion that was given to me was, Edwina, don't take that action. Take the right action. Pray for your brother. God has you where he wants you. God will take care of your brother. He's in the right place. Huh? Take the right action and stay where you are. And I got through that, right? Then when one of the girls, we were in the room together and we had so much space for our hair products and stuff like that, we start arguing over a space for curlers, right? And so my immediate action wanted to, and her immediate action was to, and we going back for she sucker punched me. Woo! I saw stars. She sucker punched me, right? First, I couldn't believe it, right? And it's amazing because by the time I was able to regroup, that thing that was in me that God, acknowledged underneath that parked car, by the time I got myself together, she sucker punched me again. Wow. Now, I'm from North Philly. Listen, I can box, listen, my father, listen, but that was not the action I took. So when they separated us, right, I went into the next room and I got on my knees and I prayed. But I didn't pray for me. I prayed for her because I knew that whoever got into an altercation would get put out. And she got put out. I think her name was Pam, and I haven't heard from her since, right? So that's what I mean by taking right action, right? And so obviously, when they give you suggestions in recovery, stop listening to your old self. Stop listening to the way you used to react and start practicing responding. Start practicing taking the right action because we don't want to give anything or anybody that much power ever again to put me back underneath that car. Hell to the no. So whatever I got to do, I'm going to do. And I want to do it because I don't want to go back. I'm not going back. All right. So let's see what else he says. Okay. I got a few more minutes, right? It says here, it says that the promises will always materialize if I work for them. And so with those, not even knowing what the promises was, right? It says the fact that I went through those 4 situations with less than 90 days in recovery, the promises did come through unknowingly to me. I didn't drink. I didn't run, right? No, I took the next right action. I took the next right step. Where's my earring at? All right, I ain't worried about it. All right, wait a minute. Here it is right there, right? I took the next right action. I took the next right step, right? And so as a result of doing that, I found, guess what? That the promises unknowingly to me that God had removed the obsession and the compulsion, right? And as a result of that, I did not have to drink again. And then I think about the time when I was, going through a lot and they had told me, Edwina, start journaling. Start journaling. Start writing about what you're going through. Start writing about what you're feeling. Start writing about your fears and all that kind of stuff. And this way, because when things come up, it can be your reference book. And see, that's where my book From Crack to Christ came from. It's my journal that I kept the first 4 years in recovery, right? And so as a result of journaling every day, off and on for 4 years, I was able, right, to get through a lot of things. And so not knowing about the promises, because that's step 9, I was experiencing things already beyond my wildest dreams because I didn't allow myself for the enemy to set me up, right? To bait me, right? To give me temptation. I did what they suggested I do in recovery. So we take the right next action. Okay? So let's see what else they say. Wait a minute, y'all. Let me get this thing in. Oh, Lord, I tell you what it means to be a woman. Woo, Lord, I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay, we got it. All right, so let's see what else he says here. I told you I'm transparent. It don't matter to me. It says here, fantasizing about the promises, debating about them, right? Preaching about them and faking them just won't work. I will remain miserable, rationalizing and be a dry drunk. By taking action, and working the 12 steps in all my fears, I'll have a life beyond my wildest dreams. So let me close by taking action. I get up in the morning. When I realize that God woke me up, I thank him. I worship him. I praise him. Then I go into my meditative mode in my closet. I got a whole room that's a closet, right? And I sit by the window and I just open it up and breathe in, right? I got my mama's little picture there. Sometimes I listen to a song and sometimes I just listen to the wind. Right? Then I get myself ready to sit before you all, right? Taking action, right? Getting ready to let the Holy Spirit select a song for me to play. And then I listen to Tamika Strickland, right? Ambassador Tamika Strickland. She talked about faith this morning. I talked about I listened to AJ Harding, right? He talked about what true friendship really is, right? And then I sit before you, giving you my experience, my strength, and my hope. And then I take action and get ready to go to my AA meeting. After 32 years, I still go to my meetings every day. I want to go. I love recovery. I'm in love with recovery. Yes, I am. 1 hour gives me everything I need to live the other 23 hours joyous, happy, and free, and detached from this earthly walk when I apply these spiritual principles to them. And so, yes, I'm living a life beyond my wildest dreams. Wrote a book, From Crack to Christ, right? Got a TV talk show, 29 years, right? Choosing a new way of life, addiction and recovery, right? Was selected an advisory board columnist, wrote about my experience, strength, and hope as addiction and recovery, my process, right? Went back to school and got my master's at the age of 44, right? And produced a training manual for the Employee Assistance Program for the city of Philadelphia to help employees get help rather than get fired, right? Yes, I also am obtaining my doctorate degree in biblical studies because I want to learn more about the God who met me, delivered me, prepared me while underneath that parked car. I want to know, right? And not just that, right? My desires of my heart. Yeah, I'm in plays about addiction and recovery. I model Big Woman Size, right? And they let them know that I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic and prostitute walking the runway model and not on Route 13. And the best gift of all, right, is that I was able to take care of 9 family members on hospice, 3 at one time, including my mother, my sister, and my aunt. And there's more. My son is a doctor of education. He works with boys who was just like him, teased as a child. Your mom's a crackhead. Your mom's a skeezer. But he let these boys know that just because she didn't mean I had to follow. Miracles beyond my wildest dream. My daughter has her own construction company since she was 19 years old, and she helps girls, teenagers learn a trade, right? So that they don't have to become prostitutes. Now she's a big wing L&I inspector for the city of Philadelphia, and she's a breast cancer survivor. So don't tell me miracles won't happen. Promises won't come true. They will if I take the right action and apply these 12 spiritual principles in my life, right? So take action. Wear the mask. Social distancing. Get vaccinated. Get tested, right? Get your children vaccinated, right? Do everything that you're supposed to do so that you can take the right action and live and help other people live too. All right, I got to go. It's time for my AA meeting. If nobody told you they love you today, I love you. You love me. We are one big family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? If If it's God's will, we be reunited tomorrow. We will be reunited. Have a blessed day. Be safe. Wear the mask.